So do you plan to launch? So actually, as you said, in recent months, Faravelli and Naturis in the United States promoted particularly impulses and rice flowers, which are really interesting. And is there any plan to launch any? Do you have any spoiler for us to reveal? So any new products you are thinking about that you think will be launched in the next months, or is it top secret right now?
No, it's not top secret. Of course, we are now together with our marketing people working with a couple of interesting features that are in the sense, not really in this case, not really in terms of performance, but for example, we have seen that we can deliver low arsenic products, so with a very low amount of arsenic, especially in rice. This is a very important area because it's a matter of fact that rice is getting arsenic from the soil. It's not because it's bad, but it's because arsenic is present in the soil, and the rice is getting for its for biological reasons. And our process is able to reduce quite a lot this mineral, and so we can deliver a very low arsenic product, especially I tell you, especially for rice flours. And rice flours are today produced by most of the companies by taking the rice and cooking it after having milled, so cook the rice flour, and then the rice flour is dried. If you think about this kind of process, most of the arsenic that is present in the rice is not taken away by the cooking, because the amount of water you put in the flour remains there, so then it's evaporated during the drying. So our process implies that we are cooking with excess of water. That is especially what the technical people, the researchers say. And this excess of water is washing away the arsenic. So the rice flour that we have is by far much more cleaner and healthier than the rice flour on the market. This is a very important point for customers, especially at the trade level, because they are looking into this arsenic as a major threat for the use of rice. The European Union, after 5 years of discussion, has decided to reduce the chlorates content in raw material. And why? Because it's a matter of fact that when you cook something, you use usually tap water, and tap water contains chlorates because it is used as a disinfectant by the municipalities. So they have made some calculation, and they said, look, if you're cooking pasta, and pasta has already some quantity of chlorates coming from productions, you have a lot of problems afterwards. So there is let's say a limit on the chlorates intake for every human being in Europe. So after this European Food Safety Agency determination, a new law has been put in place, meaning that all rice pulses, they have to contain a very low quantity of chlorates. What we can guarantee today is that we are not using tap water in making our products, and our products are today chlorate-free. So we don't have it, and this is a very good thing, because most of the products that are cooked and dehydrated, they contain chlorate if the water is not a pure water. In the United States, the chlorates is not an issue. FDA has not found any problems. I would say that even they encourage the use of chlorates, because it's for example, for water, there is an allowance, I think 6 or 7 times more of what we get in Europe. There is a lot of chlorine in the water. And also, it is not forbidden to put into the harvest. The chlorates, sodium chlorate is a very hygroscopic product. So it is used as a desecant dehydration in the crops, and use quite a lot. We have found in the rice coming from the US quite a lot of chlorates. It's rice itself. And so the amount of totally of chlorates when you're using rice products or products from the US could be very high. At the moment, there is no tension from our customers in the US to reduce the number of chlorates, but can be that somebody can ask for a low chlorates rate, and we can deliver because we are chlorate free. And this is also a good message for the European customers. I don't know whether I've made clear about this. It's not that really easy, but imagine that when you're cooking with the water and the salts, sodium chlorate is the salt, is not evaporating, and so you keep it, especially in our products, when you are dehydrating. So the amount of chlorates can be very, very high, too high, and that is the reason why we take it out completely.
No, it's clear to me. I'm not I'm not a chemical person. I mean, and to me it was very clear.
Syrups. We are developing new syrup. It's a quinoa syrup. And first of all, what is a syrup? Syrup is a solution of glucose and a short chain of glucose in water. And the basic syrup used by the industry today is glucose syrup out of starch, maize starch, that is cost nothing, and it is only glucose actually. Our syrups are something different. First of all, we are not using only starch, but we are hydrolyzing the seeds or the flowers out of the seeds as they are. So we continue to have some proteins and some fibers, and of course the flavor that you have from the seeds. And this makes the product, let's say, different from the others. Quinoa has been developed at the beginning of this year as a new product. Why? Because we had some requests from customers about something that was talking about quinoa and being sweet. Quinoa is not considered a sweet product, but of course we have been able to hydrolyze all the starch of the quinoa, and what we have today is a very simple product that looks like an honey. And it's very sweet, with a very, very good flavor. And this product contains, of course, the glucose coming and some oligosaccharides coming from quinoa, and some proteins as well from quinoa, and the fibers itself. So it's a completely new product that can be absolutely used for the production of, for example, nutritional bars. And so the production of this healthy food. This is healthy. Why it's healthy? Because first of all, it's not only glucose, but it's a mix of maltodextrin, of some triose and some maltose and some dextrose, so short chain or even small glucose molecules, and it is very digestible. And it is very good in taste, so it's very, very sweet, and it is unique. There is no companies who are making quinoa syrup today, and so it's really very, very new. Today we can deliver a dextrose equivalent 65 with a certain stability due by the water activity, so it's a shelf life in at room temperature, and we are trying now to go into a higher dextrose equivalent, so going to 80, 85. More dextrose equivalent means more glucose you have, and short chains are less and less, but you have glucose molecules. And the product will be launched in October. We can produce it by today. For what is concerning the other group of products, of course, impulses, that has been launched last year during the food ingredients, and we are still pushing a lot, it's a product that has different application, and it can be used as it is, so as a crunchy pasta. So the intake of fibers and proteins can be made very easily, and it can be a substitution of the, let's say, dried fruit or the chips that are very fat, and you can get a product that has a high content of fibers and high content of proteins and very good quality of proteins and a low carbohydrates intake. And so it's nutritionally, it's a very important products that you can take directly from your hand. So now with COVID, it's better to use a spoon, but of course it's a ready-to-eat product. And not only that, but those product has found some application in the production of nutritional bars. So all these the products that are called as snacks product for healthy people, for people who are making jogging or cycling or whatever. And these pulses, these legumes are entering very well in those kind of application, as well as breakfast cereals. Breakfast cereals sometimes they contains the dried fruit. The substitution of dried fruit cannot be done completely, but the pulses, like the crunchy impulses that we have, can be a good substitution to increase, again, the protein level, to decrease the fat level, and to increase the fibers level. If you think about breakfast cereals, they are always emphasizing the presence of fibers. Fibers are very important for our digestion, and not only the digestion, but also for our health, because there is always the implication of what is the digestion with our way of thinking. So I believe that those products for many reasons can be successful in the US market. As well, we are working into a way to demonstrate that even we are cooking and then dehydrating, that in principle it is quite a very expensive operation, because first we put the water and then we take out the water. We are demonstrating that the sustainability of this kind of process is much higher. So the way we are cooking, it's preserving natural
properties.
Yeah, the preserving energy, preserving water, than cooking at home. And one of the things that we have demonstrated, for example, that a product like milk rice, that is a rice pudding, made with the help of our products, is more sustainable than making at home by cooking for hours the rice with the water, with the milk and the sugar and so on. We are developing this kind of message to also to show to the people that the way we are treating our product makes the environment better than the way the people are cooking at home. So it is a sustainable product.